here's the little DoodleBastard. You know, we've been working on this thing. It was parked for a little while because I was trying to figure out what to do for a rear sprocket. Now here's the factory Doodlebug wheel with the factory sprocket that's on it. And you probably notice the unique 6-bolt pattern that they have, which is a really small bolt hole circumference diameter. And finding a sprocket for that has just been impossible. They make other sprockets for this for whatever size chain that was. I think it was like a number 31. Don't hold me to it. But I could not find a sprocket for the 428 chain that goes on this engine. So I went a little shopping online and I found a rear sprocket for a Suzuki LT80 from the early 1980s. And the earlier generation bike actually used the 428 chain, and the later ones used the 520 chain. So by relation to this, you're better off using this one in this particular situation because front sprockets for this don't come in the right sizes that I need, so I need to match it all up with the 428 chain. Nonetheless, this sucker somehow has to mount on here, and it looked kind of easy just to drill these holes out, but if you notice, the holes will be catching the edge of the sprocket, so unfortunately that's not going to work out. I've got an idea, and that's actually machining this out so that way it fits over this, fits flat, and then using this, which can be cut down, it can be turned into an adapter to mount this sprocket on the same plane as the wheel hub, and that should get it perfectly in line with the chain alignment that I have going on, because that's where I wanted it to line up with the hub. So I had a figuring that I was going to be using an adapter to get these suckers together. So anyway, that's the plan what we've got here. Here's the DoodleBastard. Now that I have a rear sprocket idea figured out, I can start getting this thing put together some more and go from there. Now I do know that this motor has a couple of problems with it. One, the Kickstarter is broken. Well, it was. The shaft was just turning around and around and around. The guy that had this motor previous to me actually did some severe damage to it. And the electric starter, the starter sprag, which is on this side of the motor, is slipping really badly, which is a very, very common problem with these Chinese engines. So I'll probably pick up a new starter sprag for that. In addition, I need a carburetor. I don't have one. You see, I've got it plugged to make sure no dirt gets in there, but I don't have a carburetor for this motor, so I've got to pick one of those up off of eBay too. But I'm going to guess I probably need less than $100 worth of parts to get this thing running and get it going. Just a matter of time. I have so many other projects going on right now, like this Carmen Ghia that you see over there, this CR500 which I've been working on, and a Pook moped that's over there, and behind this trailer is my dad's KZ440, so that's another project that needs to be done for Christmas because that's a surprise for him. Oh boy, I've got some work cut out for me. Well, a lot of things have changed around the garage just since the last time I made an update on the DoodleBastard here behind me. You probably noticed it's all covered in junk, and that's because I really haven't gotten time to work on it like I've really been wishing for. On this side over here, I've also got a Jeep engine. There's a lathe that I picked up over there. My dad's Kawasaki is still in the back. And on this side over here, we've got a black Volkswagen Beetle. There's my Suzuki SV650, which used to be black. It's now green. The Ninja 250. The Pook moped is still in the same spot. That's probably the only thing that hasn't been touched. But the garage looks completely different than it did just a year ago when I ran the last update video. If you remember originally, this is the sprocket that the DoodleBastard came with. And had the wrong size chain, and it was just overall the wrong size sprocket. I needed something much smaller. So A-Bomb79, who's also a YouTuber now, he didn't used to be, but he is now, he made up this custom sprocket carrier for me to my specification. I had to get the inside of this sprocket hollowed out to fit over the hub, and then to have an adapter plate here to adapt the surface plane to exactly the same as the sprocket. And that set my offset just right, so it lined up the chain with the front sprocket on the DoodleBastard. So we're going to start putting all this together in the next upcoming weeks, and hopefully by beginning of next year, if we get a little ice storm or something, we'll be running this thing around. But that was machine work done by A-Bomb79. Excellent machinist. If you haven't checked out his channel, you already should. Years ago, I told him to get on a YouTube and start making money, and oh my God, has he far exceeded anything that I expected him to. So I'm proud of you, A-Bomb79. Stick with it, Adam.